Today on the channel, my dad is here, and we got a double dose of NECA Universal Monster goodness with The Mummy Repaint Edition and the brand new Mummy's Tomb.
The spirit of Ultimate Warrior will run forever!
Welcome everyone, Kyle here, and I got a special guest for a little NECA Universal Monsters unboxing with my dad. Dad, welcome back to the channel.
Hey, good to be here.
Always good to have you here for these NECA Universal Monsters. Really your wheelhouse the other day, until we start opening and starting lineups on the channel.
Oh.
I got the
you do
LeBron,
that?
the LeBrons
Oh, wow.
coming. We're going to break down every
Oh,
bit
my
of that
goodness.
LeBron. Maybe not. But today we're talking Universal Monsters once again. It is the Halloween season. No better time to be unboxing guys like this. And I've had this one for a while, finally getting around to unboxing it. I believe, do you have this one? I think you do.
I do,
Yeah,
yes.
I found
Yes,
it
I
for
do.
you.
Yep.
So this is, of course, the Mummy. This is the second version. This is the black and white version of the Mummy. So we're going to unbox this here today. And the one I'm really excited about is the Mummy accessory set. We're going to break that one down, too. This is our first NECA Universal Monster accessory set we've unboxed here on the channel. Of course, Dracula has one coming. Frankenstein has one coming. I don't know about your friend Larry Talbot, if he's going to have one. What would be in Larry Talbot's accessory set?
Hard to say. A silver cane and silver bullets.
A gypsy wagon?
That could be.
Oh, watch out for them gypsies.
Remember Maria Ospensaya,
There you-
the gypsy in the movie.
And she was like 100 years old in that movie. She would be like 300 years old now. If
She might be.
She might be. She might be. All right, we're going to do this review like we do all the other reviews on the channel. We're going to take a look at the packaging. We're going to talk about it. We're going to unbox it. We're going to talk about it. We're going to see where it goes from there. I should have had you do that. You think you could have ripped through that quick?
Oh, I don't know. I doubt it.
But we're going to take a look at the packaging on these guys here. And then, of course, I'm going to take it offline because who knows? Unboxing these things, cutting these things always takes a little bit of time. And then we'll be back talking all about these things. So that's how the video is going to go here. We'll start with this guy first. Of course, it is the Mummy. It is Boris Karloff. Now, we've seen this and we all know about how NECA does business. They got to get the most out of their molds like any other toy company here. And it's an interesting one with these black and white versions. Now, we had Frankenstein regular, Frankenstein black and white. We had the Wolfman regular, Wolfman black and white. Now the Mummy, both versions. I would anticipate Dracula. He's supposed to come out very soon. I'm guessing we'll probably get a black and white Dracula as well. So a very smart move, and I am very happy they changed the box art for these. Give a little bit of difference, a little differentiation between the two. So that does work for me, but the Mummy is the one I probably struggle with the most in the black and white game. I don't know if you probably agree with that.
Well, yeah, you hate people that drag their feet.
I hate, yeah, that's true too.
Yeah.
But besides that, I mean, just the black and white game.
Oh.
You know, you get one because he's basically black and white to begin
That's
with.
true.
So now he's
the movie
really
was in black and white.
That's true too. So it's a little bit of a stretch, but I guess it's part of the overall total theme, part of the Double Up Club, and that's just the way they're going to do these going forward here. But I do like that we get totally different packaging with this one. I think that adds a lot to this, so I'm okay with that. Very cool movie poster right there. You get, of course, Boris Karloff
Very
on the
nice.
side. Same thing going on over there. And then the back, big pictures there, just different things you can do. Going to have to display these guys a little bit different. And that's the nice thing about this accessory set. You put one off by himself, you put the other one with the accessory set. Of course, you get the big window box we're accustomed to with these NECA figures, so he does look really good. Everything else inside is the exact same stuff we got before. And the cool thing is you get different hands, different heads with this. Make them as different as possible when you unbox them. Now, I believe, aren't you an inbox collector of these?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I have been in box. Yeah.
He's old school. He's unboxing. You don't open these guys up. You just display them like this.
It's
So.
just kind of like a bookshelf and like
Yeah.
a library.
Yeah, and these look really good. And that's my plan, is to put these guys like a library with their figures in front of them is how I'm going to display them.
That'd be a good idea.
I think you need extra copies. You need one to open, one in package, and stuff like that. But then we turn our attention to the accessory set, a very interesting one here. I'm not sure exactly. It'll be interesting to see where this goes at retail. I haven't heard or seen reports, but will this be at Target? Will this be at Walmart? It is a little bit bigger packaging. It is a bit of a niche item. I mean, you got to think about the Mummy. He's a little bit niche. That's not every toy collector is getting the Mummy, and not every toy collector that gets the Mummy is going to spend the extra money to get an accessory set with him. So it's going to be interesting how well these accessory sets do. These are one of those things that I could see down the line, let's say 20 years from now, just being worth an absolute fortune, because everybody got the Mummy, new people wanting this Mummy figure, but a lot of people didn't get the accessory set. In the accessory set, I'm sure pieces will be missing, things like that. So I could see this thing holding some value down the line. Mine, unfortunately, is a little bit beat up. I did get this from AliExpress. Yes, AliExpress, because it was cheaper than anywhere else, and it came sooner.
Wow.
So, I don't know. We'll see what happens when we get this bad boy unboxed. But a very cool packaging design, as you can see. It doesn't really, it tells you what you're getting, but it doesn't really tell you, because if you look at the packaging here, you're just like, wow, this is a crazy big thing. What is all this? I get this whole room, I get all this sand, I get all this cases, all that kind of stuff. So it's quite the box presentation on this. It does look really, really good. And I'm probably going to display the black and white one with this one is my plan here. But no blurbage. Oh, I got a little bit right here. So on the bottom it says, includes sarcophagus, chest, cardboard, backdrop standee. The mummy, he is sold separately. Oh, yes.
Oh, that's how they got it.
That's how they get you. All right, well, we've talked about the packaging. Let's take this offline. Let's get these unboxed, and we'll be back talking all things The Mummy. All right, we're back in action. We got this. We took these out. My dad unboxed the old set over there. I unboxed The Mummy. We're off to the races. Wanted to point out the background here as it came out. The backgrounds are always really cool on these. This is really a poor man's background set, really, if you want to. You could tape this up. You could put this in the background. Very, very cool, neat idea from NECA. Do appreciate things like that, so I wanted to call that one out. Now we're going to take a look at The Mummy here, and here's the old version. I'll put the old version with you. Now you could put these guys side by side. I mean, not a terrible difference. I mean, this is a dirty brown where this is truly a black and white. So everything else is going to be the same. And I think you and I unboxed this one here on this channel. So we won't drain this one so much as it's all about the sarcophagus and that kind of stuff. But it is The Mummy here. Of course, the arms go all the way around, shoulders up and down. You do get a bicep cut, yes you do, and then you get double jointed elbows. You get the hands back and forth. Hands are removable. You do get the hula hoop waist. You get a little waist down there. He can do those big old mummy splits when he's doing his hurdles. He can do that. Is there a thigh cut? No thigh cut there. You do get the single jointed knees. You get some spinach at the knees and the ankles back and forth. But as I always say, he's also not Spider-Man. He is a mummy.
That's true.
He's not doing a lot of big things like that. Does he fit on a ringside collectible stand? That's always $1 million challenge. Use discount code Kyle, save yourself 10%. But there it is. If you need stands, he fits perfectly on there. Always got to do that stand test. But it is black and white mummy. It's interesting. I mean, the thing that I like about this is it gives you an excuse to use some of these extra heads, because you get a lot of these NECA figures. You get a lot of extra accessories and stuff that you see them once, basically, and then you decide this is how I'm displaying it. You put these away in a baggie, never to be seen again. So the beauty of this one is you got two mummies here. There's a little bit of difference, not a ton, but now I can use some of these different head sculpts here. And which one did I use on that one?
This head does look like Boris Karloff.
Yes.
No
yes,
doubt.
it does. So that's more of the sleeping mummy head, which would be great for that accessory set. But then this one, I like this zombie one head. I think this is the way I'm going to go on this one. Really have a stark contrast for a very no expression to just I'm going to suck the life out of you impression right there, expression. So very, very good. I liked both those heads. I liked them originally. You, of course, get the mummy wrappings. Choose your own mummy wrapping adventure. You can put them on his legs, his shoulders, his arms. So you got two more of these to do with whatever you want to. And then you get a couple of extra hands here. And the mummy, no fists for the mummy. The mummy just choked people. He never threw a lot of haymakers. He never did any of that kind of stuff.
Choked people with one hand.
Yeah, I mean, it's just the power of one hand. Like a young Michael Myers. You ever see a Halloween movie?
I have.
You have?
I saw the original one.
Oh, you saw the original one. Look at that. Did you see the newest one on Peacock?
I know. No.
It was god-awful. It was god-awful. And I like a lot of terrible movies, but that new Halloween one, man, it almost ruined my life. It almost really did. It was that bad. The girls and I watched it. You know, Emma and Elle, big-time horror fans. They love that kind of stuff. We just all hated it. It was just so disappointing because I loved the last one. How we got talking about Michael Myers, I don't know. But anyways, any other newer horror icons you like? Leatherface?
You know, I never got into the slasher movies.
Never got into it?
It's just not my thing.
You like more of the stuff happens off screen and you got to use your imagination where it's like it's even worse than if you would have saw it in person. Yeah. That kind of stuff. Yeah.
I don't know. They're predictable and they remind me of the Geico commercial where this chainsaw guy is after this bunch of teenagers and they say, well, don't get in the running car. Hide in the garage behind the chainsaws. Okay.
Yeah, that's true. There is a lot of that. There's some campiness, of course, but
kind of predictable.
Some of my favorites, Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2, Part 2. 1's good, but 2 is very good. Chop Top, all-time great. House of a Thousand Corpses, Devil's Rejects. I like a couple of the Halloween movies. Freddy Krueger is an interesting one because when I was a kid on the old playground, and you remember me being on the playground, and the talk of the playground was everybody was scared of Freddy Krueger back in the day. He was the scariest one.
Scary.
But now you watch those movies now, and they are absolutely not scary. They almost remind me of like the Universal Monster stuff, which was very scary for its time. But when I was a little kid, I mean, it was okay for a kindergartner, first grader. It wasn't anything too crazy. And that's almost how Freddy Krueger feels after all these years later. I was just like, I can't believe us on the playground were so worried about Freddy. But I think part of that was, Freddy, you know, you got to go to sleep, and that's when Freddy gets you. And there's nothing you can do, especially as a little kid. You know, bedtime's 9 o'clock. You got to go to bed. So I think that's part of it. But Jason's another one, okay. He's ups and downs. A little bit like a modern take on Frankenstein in some ways, you know, a slow-plodding monster. But yeah, anyways, back to the Mummy. Back to the Mummy here. We get sidetracked here. But really good, of course, wrappings throughout. I mean, it is the same figure here. We're not going to drain this whole thing. You do get the chest. Is that what you call this? What would you call this?
I would say.
And then, of course, it does open up, and it's got the scrolls, the sea scrolls, or whatever
the
you
ancient
want.
scrolls.
And I don't even remember, what did the scrolls really say? Like, whoever disturbs this tomb has the curse of the mummy.
A lot of warnings on it.
A lot of warnings, and it was tough because they had to get a translator, I'm pretty sure, because it's all Egyptian. But, of course, the scrolls are in here, and they are in paper.
Oh,
and,
wow.
Can you decode all this for me?
I can, yeah.
And it's funny, I always see these guys here with like the dog head and the bird head, like the Osiris or whatever their names are there. Whenever I see that, you know where I go back. And we probably talked about this in the original review, was G.I. Joe the Animated Series back in the day. They had that time where they went to like ancient Egypt, and Joes and Cobras kind of had to join forces because it was supernatural. Sometimes that happened in G.I. Joe. What a time to be alive. If you were there, you know what I'm talking about. But there's something creepy about Egypt and all this kind of stuff.
Well, why would you paint a human figure with a bird head?
I don't know. That's makes you
Because there were humans with bird heads back then?
That's, you know, I didn't say it. You did.
Okay.
You did. But, you know, you're exactly right. There's got to be a reason for it all. And it is one of the great mysteries of the world. You know, the mummies running around, and some people say UFOs, and how did they build these pyramids? There's just a lot going on out there. Do we have any viewers from Egypt? Any Egyptians out there watching? Apparently, you know, I was checking my analytics, and I'm not very good really understanding what they do, and luckily I do my thing, and I don't worry about that stuff. But I saw the other day, one of the highest watch rates for me, you'd think would be the United States, but no, Estonia.
Whoa.
Estonia. Whoa. I am very popular in Estonia. If any of you guys from Estonia ever come to America, hey, you're welcome. Lunch is on me.
It's a great country. It's a great country. Freedom-loving, great country.
Is it?
It is.
I know absolutely nothing about Estonia.
Great country.
Really.
Great people.
I'm not even sure if I can find Estonia on a map now that I think about it. So it tells you what Kyle knows. I don't really know much. But, Dad, you could help me. Dad, where's Estonia?
I could find it right outside the door.
And I'm also really big in Aruba.
Oh,
Believe it or not, Aruba. How about you? Shout out to you Arubians. Are all in, but
Beach Boys loved Aruba.
They did. They did. Oh, they loved Kokomo. That's for sure. Yeah. And we all did. We all loved that song. You know, John Stamos was involved in that.
Playing the bongos.
And John Stamos, personal friend of me lately because he's been doing some work with my company.
Oh.
Yes, TV commercials, all kinds of stuff. John Stamos and me were like this. I'm basically taking over for Danny Tanner, really is what's going to happen there. We're thinking about doing a reboot, but we better cut it out, get a little Dave Coulier going on. I'm here all day long for that.
But we digress.
But we digress, exactly right. All right, so that's the Mummy. A lot of what we've seen before, just black and white edition. So very, very cool. We'll stick him on a stand, put him off to the side. Give me this guy. We'll stick him on a stand as well, and you grab that stuff over there.
Okay.
All right, now we're going to take a look at this first set here from the NECA team, and I'm very excited to see where this one goes. And where do we even break down? What should we start talking about first? How about that cardboard background?
Got the background here.
Now,
make your own little diorama.
How thick is that? That is pretty good quality.
It's pretty heavy.
That is nice. I mean, this isn't just. It's not even just cardboard. It's not paper. It's not cardboard. It's next level after that. It is very thick, very nice. But it should be. This is
one step under plywood.
One step under plywood. You heard it here first. And it does have a tri-fold to it. I don't know how easy it folds together. Yeah,
it does. Very easy.
So you can pack it away, and that's how they got it in the box as well, but it does fold out, so you can't put an arch to it. You can lay it flat out like that, so you got a little bit of momentum, some movability with that one. So I think that's pretty good.
Very nice. Didn't look like it'll crack.
And then once again, you got some Egyptian folks in there, I guess we'll
Right,
call it. We got the bird people, the dog people.
Yeah.
I don't know what else it says. And it looks a little bit old. It looks a little bit dingy, a little creepy, a little dark in there. So it is interesting. Now, my biggest gripe with this thing here is it's going to look great. You get, the mummy is standing in front of there.
Right.
Scoot it back a
Right
little.
at home now.
You scoot him back there, but the problem is the floor doesn't match. I wish they had an extension or another piece that gave you a floor. That's where that backdrop guy could come in. If you check him out on Instagram, he could probably hook something like this up. But you get a floor for this because let's say you're taking pictures in a light box or whatever. It looks a little bit off as you're going to see here because you don't have a floor to kind of match this. So that's the only thing. If we get a little sandy floor for this, I think that would have took it to the old proverbial next level. So, okay, there's that. Put that over on the side. Whoa, we're throwing Mummy around.
Left too.
He's got to go.
The mummy's left the house.
He's left the house. So then we get this big, what are we going to call this? Big chest.
Right.
Big chest here. So we get a nice golden chest. Very lightweight, but a nice design to it. It's got a dirty wash across. I mean, it looks ancient is what this looks like. So it does look good.
Very nice.
No issues with it here. Of course, the lid does come off. You do get an open trunk there. So as you said, you could theoretically store your extra heads. You could store all that kind of stuff. All your different hands. You could store all that in here. Or, of course, we got the other chest the mummy came with. Is this how it went in the movie? Was this inside of this?
Probably. I don't remember that exactly,
but this fits absolutely perfect in there. And then you put this. So that probably makes all the sense in the world that you unbox this one. It's a box inside of a box. And, that was always the big game. Giving a little story here. Back when I was a little kid working in a grocery store, in the frozen food aisle, I was a frozen food manager. One time I was the youngest frozen food department manager in company history. Can you believe that? Kyle is working hard at an early age, still in high school. But anyways, we used to play a trick on the guys. So we'd, of course, run product, and you'd have back stock is what we called it. You put it in the back. And I'd always do it as a little bit surprised, and we'd try to see how many boxes inside of a box, inside of a box, inside of a box.
Oh, wow.
We'd have. It was just a little rib we'd play on each other, and you'd find a big box. You'd put another box inside that, another box inside that, and all the way down, and make them work down to that one little pint of ice cream all at the bottom. Just the fun stuff you have in the frozen department, and that's kind of what this reminds me of right there. So we do get that. Very good accessory. And now we turn our attention over to the sarcophagus.
Major piece in this.
This is the main event. The main event of this unboxing is what this one is. It looks really, really good. Very, very detailed. A decent amount of weight to it. It's not super light, not super heavy, but displays perfectly. Great paint job on it. I don't think we have any paint problems. Maybe a little scuffage there. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know. Or that
It's
could
supposed
just
to look a little antique-y anyway.
Yeah, it's supposed to look a little aged. It's got some hieroglyphics. Is that what we'll call those on there? It definitely does pop. You got some blues and reds. You got the big mummy's tomb. I mean, you see this, you know exactly what this is.
Very nice.
You know exactly what this is. So very, very cool. It's got a flat back, so nothing back on there. So now this, of course, can be displayed down on the ground like so. Or you could put it up like so against a bookshelf or something like that. So choose your own display adventure with this one. And, of course, it does open up. Bam, bam, bam. And even inside, there's some hieroglyphics inside. So there's really good attention to detail on this one. Other side, it almost looks like a wood coffin, something like that. So very, very interesting. And, of course, you have this, and the mummy is going to fit inside. That's what it's made for. So you can stick the mummy in there, put him in, off to the races, lock him in, and you've got the mummy. You don't have to worry about him. He's in his eternal slumber once again. So you could, display this down on the ground. You could have him, off to the side, peeking out. All kinds of stuff. I can see figure photographers that are much better than I am, or you, for example, really take this to the old next level, getting this thing out there. Very, very cool idea, these accessory sets. The Frankenstein one I'm really looking forward to. The Dracula one should be really good with his coffin. He's got some like spiders and bats and stuff with that one. I don't know if we'll get the Gypsy Wagon with the werewolf or not.
Probably not.
We do know, I don't know if you know this, the Creature is coming. So gotta get the Creature. Maybe we'll get his Lagoon. Maybe we'll get that.
Or create one.
I think the kids still have a Barbie pool from when they were littler, so I might use that Barbie. It's pink, but I don't think the Creature would care too much. But very, very cool. And like I said, this pack really helps justify a second Mummy for me. You put one with this, maybe one creeping out of here, and then another one getting all of his glory, all of his shine on display. So a very, very cool set. But what say you about this? Are you going to shell out your money and pick up one of these?
I don't know. You know, I do like it. It's very heavy duty. It's solid stuff. So someone went to a lot of time and energy to put all this together. But yeah, if you have open figures, I think you like. But even if you didn't, I mean, it adds to.
You got a point there. So now we talked about that earlier. You're bringing it all the way right back home. So of course I'm opening these things. You have an in-box collection because you know you got that flap. You can look at them just as well. So yours are all in box. More of that. Now this accessory box doesn't really display the. I mean, it looks good, but it's not something you would put on a shelf. It's a lot of real estate, and is it really that cool to display? I don't know. So if you're keeping these in box, you might
probably
not
that one. Probably not that one. No, this would definitely be something you'd want out in the open. It's very nice.
So are you going to pick it up? Do you think?
I'll see.
It's going to roll the dice, game time decision. If you just are grocery shopping at Target and stumble across it.
I'm retired on a fixed income, so I'll have to work it in.
That's true. You got to save all that money. I think you should spend no money, and then you can just give it all to me.
There you go.
That sounds great. How about that?
I'm trying to do that.
That'd be great. So if I could just retire, just imagine, you could put me into retirement right now, and then I could just do YouTube full-time. Wouldn't that be something? Wouldn't that be something? Can you imagine if I did this full-time right now? I put out 3 videos a day. I could put out like 10 videos every single day.
Let's just hope the stock market goes up.
Yeah. I got my 401k and I got my other thing the other day, and it was I usually just kind of rip those things up because I'm long away from retirement, so I don't really pay too much attention. But this one I accidentally unboxed, and I about cried right there. I said, I've never lost so much money in like a span of a quarter of my life. So we need to talk about that. It is benefit enrollment season right now for my work, so I need your help to take a look at some of that stuff. What do I need to do, and where do I invest my money?
If you have stocks, don't sell them.
Sell.
Wait. You still own the same amount of shares, and they will go up someday with the right leadership.
Okay. Oh, more to be said there. But yes, they always bounce back. They always say it eventually. It might take a while. They do. I'm just lucky I'm not at retirement age right now, I guess. But I think I'm in like the 2045. Fund, isn't that what it is called?
Could be.
It's like that's your goal retirement age. I'm really rooting for 2024. Can I get out then?
We'll see.
I don't think so. I'm an unapologetic lifer for rock and roll is what I am. So there it is. There is the Mummy, the Mummy's Tomb, the black and white edition. A very interesting unboxing. Of course, Dad, you'll be back here when we get Dracula. We get Dracula's tomb. We get Frankenstein. We'll unbox all these guys on the channel. So much more to come from the NECA Universal Monster toy line. So Dad, thank you for coming here.
Thanks for having me. My pleasure.
It is the Halloween season. Will your light be on for trick-or-treating this year?
I don't know if I'll be home or not. It just doesn't have the same meaning when you have kids.
That's true, but you know, my kids will come over.
Yeah.
I mean, I got a special costume this year. You guys are going to love my special costume, and I'm not sure if Angie will let me wear it out of the house, but we'll probably wear it in a video, so stay tuned for that. A little Easter egg for Halloween.
Hopefully you won't get arrested or anything.
No, I'll be dominating the whole world with my. And this Halloween costume might turn into my daily costume. We'll see what happens.
Boy.
We'll see what happens.
That good?
Yeah, it is that good. Really, really that good. Okay. So. There it is. All right, the Mummy's Tomb. We're here. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this. Let us know your comments down below. You picking this up? You passing? You playing the long game? Let us know your thoughts in the comments down below, as I said. And then don't forget to like this video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Turn on the old notification bell. We got videos every single day and then some. And my dad's a part of every once in a while. So stay tuned. My dad will also be a part of a top 5 Universal Monsters countdown this Halloween season. So get a little bit more of him here on the channel while we got him. Also, don't forget about the Patreon, link in the description below. Social media, SirPaul64. On Twitter, Instagram, _Kyle_Peterson on Instagram. Dad, TikTok channel still active?
We keep trying.
We keep trying.
It's day by day when you're...
You got a special Halloween dance.
Working on it as we speak.
There you go. So there it is. So for my dad, I'm Kyle. See you guys all real soon.